Hi, my name is Delani and I'm a researcher in social anthropology at the University of St. Andrews. The second question comes from Jamie, and here's what he asked. Are there any cultures that are at risk of being completely lost due to climate change? Short answer is yes, there are, but let me get in greater detail for you, Jamie. So cultures have always been at risk when it came to natural phenomena and subsequent disasters. A classic example to bring up at this point, and I'm sure some of you are already aware of it, is the ancient Roman city of Pompeii in Italy, which was buried under lava when Mount Vesuvius erupted back in 79 Common Era, also resulting in thousands of casualties. But of course, loss of a culture does not necessarily mean loss of life. And let me explain that. It could also be the result of losing one's way of living without losing their life per se. So this is frequently observed today when communities have to relocate because of imminent threats to their natural and human-built environments, usually linked to climate change. So when the new environment they move into is substantially different from what they have been used to, then they cannot actually resume activities that used to be important to their social organization and financial resilience. These activities could be fishing, agriculture, animal husbandry, or they cannot actually resume them in the ways they had developed them in the past. So as a result, cultural knowledge and local expertise are not being passed down to the next generations anymore in lack of the continuity of these activities. And therefore, cultural knowledge and local expertise are being gradually lost. You will be happy to know, though, that we do not just allow this to happen. So, for example, in our very own department of social anthropology in St. Andrews, we're contributing a lot to this topic and to this field in specific. So, for example, Pacific Island Cultures, up there, the title for you, credited by our department's Tony Crook, which you can access as an ebook through the university's library catalog, brings together research about the island cultures in the Pacific, which, by the way, are being in the front line of climate change and its disastrous impacts. So if you read this book, you will find accounts about how people develop an awareness of climate change and how they decide to act in response to it. But also you will find discussions about what can be potentially lost in this process and unavoidably altering the people's way of living for good, and as a result, changing key aspects of their culture.